This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin' is your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks take on the Atlanta Hawks tonight. And listen, there's a couple of people out, including Julius Randle, but also John Collins from the Atlanta Hawks is out. All right? And, you know, we have some questions, some things to talk about with Julius Randle. So let's go ahead and let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. We got, we got 1 A-lister and 2 C-listers on the lineup today. So we're going to go ahead and get into this and, knock this thing out. Let's go ahead. Let's get with it, man.
Doing Andy and Kevin like that.
Yeah. No, he ain't doing me like that. He's doing you like that.
Oh, no.
You guys know
I'm the one A.
Andy's the A-lister. Andy's the A-lister. Kev and Isaiah are both the Z-listers. No, I'm just joking.
First and foremost, I'm Michael Jackson. Yada Jackson.
You say that same one. You don't know any other group? That's the only group you know?
I'll be your, yeah, I mean, exactly.
We could be
never heard of the Silvers. You never heard of the Silvers, have you?
And he knows them from stories only.
Right, that's all he ever says. I'm Michael Jackson, and y'all are the rest of the Jackson.
Listen, no.
How about I'm Method Man, and y'all are,
y'all want to be the OJs?
You know what I mean?
We could be the OJs.
Okay.
Oh well, okay, I can roll with that.
He don't know no hip hop groups.
But I in the background vocals. That's
he don't know any hip hop groups.
You really want to go there?
You don't know. Name all the members of Wu-Tang.
Dang, you got Method Man, RZA's.
You too late. Hit him with it. He don't know, y'all. He don't know. Do your hip hop history. Anyway, let's keep moving. Let's go on. Let's talk about
it. It's like 250 members of Wu-Tang.
Let's talk about this. Andy, what's going on, man?
Yo, what up, Sim, Kev, Isaiah, happy to be on. Listen, today might be probably the most important game of the rest of the season. Let's say it that way. Because if we lose this game, we are going to need basically to win, 7 out of the last 10 games and hope that the Hawks lose basically every game till the end of the season.
Yeah.
So, a W tonight is going to count double. And if we lose, more and more fans are going to hop on the tank train.
I mean, already, the Knicks have 11 games left on the season, including tonight, right? And in order for the Knicks to have a chance, they've got to win at least 10 of these last 11 games. And the Hawks have to lose 5. I don't know how many the Hawks have left, but it's possible for the Hawks to lose 5 of these games, right? They're a 500 team. It's possible for them to go 6-5. Not sure it's possible for the Knicks to go 10-1 or 11-0, but they've got to be pretty close to 10-1 or 11-0 to beat the Hawks. I mean, just to have a 500 record, they've got to win the next 11 games, and I don't think they can beat Miami or Charlotte, and they play both of those teams within this stretch. So it's definitely difficult, but this is the last gasp, and they blew a golden opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? Because if they would have beaten the Utah Jazz, Atlanta lost their last game. If they would have beaten the Jazz, they'd be just 4 games behind Atlanta. Then if they beat Atlanta tonight, they'd be just 3 games behind Atlanta. So they blew a big opportunity in that Utah Jazz game. But yeah, I agree, Andy. This is a huge basketball game for the Knicks if they are really trying to keep their spot in that in that playing, or not their spot, but trying to make that playing game. It's a big game.
Mm-hmm.
Cornerstone, Kev, let me see. We got a bunch of them today. We heard him cough once. You guys didn't hear him because I had him muted, but you heard him cough once.
I did not cough at all. You're exaggerating. You are telling a fib. Yes, I did not cough at all.
Are you serious?
I did not cough. Yes, I'm very serious.
Just before I came on, you didn't cough?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Nah, Kev.
I'm totally healthy. I'm totally healthy. All right.
Wait, Kev.
I got nothing going on in my lungs or anything like that. You are telling a fib. I ain't gonna call you a liar, but you a fibber.
Hey, Kev, I'm not Kev. I know I joke a lot, but
you're a hater. You're a hater.
Because Kev, I heard it with my chest, man.
You are.
Kev, we wasn't live yet, but you coughed. So we got cough over Kev, we got Cornerstone Kev, we got crossover Kev. We got co-host Kev. Anyway, all of the Kevs are right here in one person. All the personalities right here in one person. Kev, what's popping, man?
Salute to you, Sim. Salute to Andy. Salute to what's your name again? Oh, Isaiah. Salute to the chat.
You getting old on me, Kev. You losing. I ain't gonna say what you.
Yeah, you better not jump. I think tonight. You know what? I don't know how this game is gonna go because after what happened in Utah, a game that we were supposed to win because of how we were playing, and Tibbs does a 360 on us. I don't know what to expect now. I honestly and truly don't. I will say I think dang, I'm drawing a blank. RJ, I think RJ
Kev, you scared me today, Kev.
Stop.
You scared me today.
I think RJ's gonna have a really good game because now, kind of the scoring is now focused on him pretty much. But I don't know what's gonna happen tonight. I honestly do not know what's going to happen. I don't know if we're going to win. I don't know if we're going to lose. I don't know because I don't know what Tibbs is going to do.
Yeah. All right. Isaiah, man, what's up?
What's going on, Sim? It's good to be back, man. I know, man. It's been a minute. It's just been working, man. Shout out to you, Andy. Kev, I'm going to pray for you, brother, because you scared me today.
You scared me, man.
I've been listening though, Sim. I've been listening, watching all the shows. I think Utah game, man, I think it left a bad taste on all our mouths, especially the end.
The end, yeah.
The end really left a bad taste, and just to me, the last like 5 to 6 minutes of that game towards the end just really left a bad taste about what the Knicks have been experiencing this whole season, just between Tom Thibodeau's just baffling decisions and this Randle just. I mean, at this point, man, if you. It's to a point where I really do feel bad for Randle. Like, I was angry at first, but then it's just like he's just having a season from hell. I mean, it's no way to put it. He's having probably his worst. He is having his worst season of his career so far.
He's having a bad one, and some things are out of his control, but a lot of the things are well within his control.
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
I
shooting the way you shoot, your percentage. I mean, you can control some things, but sometimes it could be out of your control. Your behavior is within your control.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And whatever is happening or whatever is going on, you know what I'm saying? Then you've got to be able to recognize that and say, how do I fix this? But that's within his control.
Yeah. And I will say this too, Sim. Again, it's to the point where you just feel bad for him. But I will say, speaking on the game tonight, I think this is like, I know we say it's a big one for RJ almost every other night, but I think this is a big one because Randle's not going to be there. So they're clearly probably going to most likely double team RJ tonight. So he's going to see, and DeAndre Hunter does play him very well. So this to me is going to be a good game to see where RJ's at because RJ's just been in the grooves since the beginning of this new year. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen tonight. I think he is going to move the ball, but I know we're going to talk about it more in depth. But it's a big game for RJ. No Randle tonight.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the injury report, and Kev, I'm going to get to you in just a second. All right. Julius Randle out with a sore quad. Cam Reddish is out. Quentin Grimes is not out. He's playing. Nerlens Noel is out. Derrick Rose is out. As for the Atlanta Hawks, they've got some people out as well. All right, Bogdanovich, he's questionable for tonight. John Collins is out, and Lou Williams is out. All right, Sharif Cooper, he's in the G League playing.
I forgot Lou Williams played for the. I'll be forgetting.
Yeah, so they got some people that's out as well. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's two teams that's fully healthy playing. But let's get back to Julius Randle's out for the night, which opens up an opportunity not just for RJ Barrett to really be the leader out there, but it opens up an opportunity for Obi Toppin, right, to have a do-over. You know what I mean? Earlier in the season when Julius Randle was out due to COVID protocol, health and safety protocols, Obi Toppin had his chance. It didn't look that good, right? So now he's got a do-over. But my question is this, before we get into RJ Barrett and Obi, with Julius Randle, do you think this is, Andy, I'll start with you, then I'll come around and get the Kev. Do you think this is, I'm not going to say a punishment, but do you think the Knicks are like, hey, let's just shut it down. Let's just shut it down. And this is the way of shutting it down. Do you think he's going to have a sore quad for the remainder of the season?
Well, Sim, for me, I'm like 50-50 on this Randle absence, let's call it that way. 50-50 between two options. One option is Julius went to the front office and he said literally, listen, I just can't play this season again. Or just I need a break. Mm-hmm. And he just, asked for a game or two off, and then he might come back. And the other option is just they put him in timeout after the last game's behavior. Right. It might be one game, might be two games. Listen, it might be the rest of the season. I think, like I said before, this is the really important game. If they lose this game, Julius might be like out for the rest of the season. But I think, if it depends on both Tibbs and Julius, I think he will be back. If not the next game, just the game after that. So he will be back. It would have to be a major rift between Julius and the coaching staff or Julius and the front office for him to sit out the rest of the season.
Okay. Kev, your thoughts on it, man?
Well, it's funny because now that Kenny Payne is not with the team anymore, right? He's with Louisville.
Right.
Yeah, so really, how strong is Tibbs and Randle's relationship? Because I totally agree with what you're saying, Andy.
I'm going to tell you something. I want to jump in there.
Okay.
Right? Because when I'm looking at that scuffle, and these are things that I pay attention to, things like that. Maybe some people don't. But he's pushing around a whole lot of people. But there were two people that he did not push around. And he stopped short. RJ Barrett and Tom Thibodeau. Right? When RJ Barrett came up to him, he had pushed around a bunch of people, getting him out the way. When RJ Barrett came up to him, he was cool. He didn't push him away. When Tom Thibodeau came to him while he was still fussing, he didn't push Thibodeau's arm away. Right? So if you go back and look at that video, you see that. And to me, when you're in that type of situation and you're that upset for whatever reason, I don't know why, but when you're that upset, and you're conscious enough to not to push this guy's hand away or this guy's hand away, that means you respect him. That means you have a relationship with him. So for me, that answers the question.
Okay, so Sim, because you're a coach, how do you handle your players in the heat of the moment type, heat of the moment type things, during the course of a game? How do you handle it?
I mean,
I know every situation is different.
Yeah. Every situation is different, but I have a conversation with him right there on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I have a better relationship, me personally, I have a better relationship than some of the players than some of my assistant coaches. But there may be assistant coaches who have better relationships with other players, right? So now you have to look at that and you say, okay, who has the relationship? There may be times where I look at an assistant coach and I say, hey, you need to go talk to her or him, whichever one I'm coaching at the time, boys or girls.
Right.
Right. You need to go talk to them and have a discussion. You know what I mean? Now, if I have the better relationship, I'll stop doing the head coaching thing for a second and I'll go down to the end of the bench and have a quick conversation, quick 30-second conversation and say, hey, you need to calm down. You need to, once you get your head together, I'll put you back in the game.
Okay.
You know, things
So
like that.
Also,
Okay.
Kev, but you also, Kev, you got to look about it like this: as someone who played football, right, and someone who's like, I wouldn't say I'm overly emotional, but when you play football, you have to be a certain type of anger, a certain type of this, a certain just to play the game. And when you're in the emotions are high, you know, you're trying not to give up a lead, or this happens, or you feel like you're not giving them up. You know, this time you slam your helmet, you do this, but you like Sim says, you know, you have a coach. You know, usually we have a defensive coach, you know, comes over,
Okay.
you know, talks to us. I mean, like me, for example, like I'm an emotional player. I remember one time, like, you know, it was just we were losing, and I was getting frustrated, and I just like, you know, slam stuff. You don't do stuff like that.
Right.
Then you know your coach comes over, pulls you to the side, and like, yo, you can't do that. You know, you gotta keep our emotions in check and everything. It just you have this. It's every play is different, right? And you also recognize the situation. Like you recognize that, yo, if you're the defense and you're getting your ass kicked by the offense, and you're getting frustrated because you're trying to win this game to make the playoffs. He knows that. Listen, we're trying to win, and we're trying to be, and emotions get high. But then also there's other situations where it's not necessary, where you know you got guys throwing, you got sometimes freshman JV guys throwing their helmets, or you got guys that are just being emotional.
Right.
You know, you got to recognize, but most good coaches recognize the situation that we're in and where we're at and everything like that to see that.
Okay.
And also it's up to coaches to recognize certain cues, nonverbal cues that the players have. You know, every player has a tell. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you can look at them in their body language and just the way that they're reacting to certain things on the floor, and you know that this players, they have it or they don't have it. You know what I mean? That night. Or you know, if you just got to pull them out for a second so that you can have a conversation with them or whatever it is. And you've also got to understand, like Isaiah said, the situation, and it may not be a time to preach. You might just have to quickly pull that person out, say, hey, we're going to have a conversation after this game. And you know why? And then go on with it. And you still might play that person. You know what I'm saying? And then you have a conversation later on when things are a little bit more cool, because sometimes having that conversation in the heat of the battle is not a good thing.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah, and that definitely, and also too, I mean, again, and I'm not defending Randle because I mean, I have my opinion on Randle, but I will say this though. I mean, again, most of us play sports. I know Andy's play sports.
I do too. I played junior college, so
you played the college.
No, I played ball. I played ball.
Junior college checker.
Thank you very much.
Junior
right?
No, but
you played checker or handball. There you go.
I played ball.
What kind of ball? What kind of ball?
What kind of ball, bro?
Eight ball.
Bad. Do I have to get? So now I got to go to my parents' house to get the pictures to show that.
I want you to do that. I want to see that. I want to see that.
Nah, just say what ball you was playing, bro. Just say what
basketball.
Okay. All right.
I was on the court.
Okay.
No, but I mean, we all do recognize that. Again, you got to put your emotions in this game, especially if you love it, right? You got to put your emotions.
But you got to control them.
I mean, yes, you got to control them.
You want your emotions in there, but you got to control them.
Okay, so now that Kenny Payne is gone, he doesn't have anyone to really to lean on.
I think that's an issue. Right? I do think that's an issue. I think Kenny Payne and Mike Woodson were really, really good for Julius Randle, right? And so I think that's an issue that the Knicks really do have to think about going forward.
Right.
And Sam, I do agree with you earlier. I know there's a couple videos ago, but I do agree with you. I do think the Knicks should get an older black head coach. Or someone like that, like again, right? To me, man, I know we're gonna move on, but this always stuck out to me. Remember when Woody, he got the position for Indiana and he came back to visit them?
Mm-hmm.
And remember the video where they literally one by one just hug up, run up to him.
Exactly.
I mean that, and you could tell. Again, right? I know RJ knows his father. I know all these guys know their, most of them, but that was their grandpa.
Yeah.
I know that hug, man. When you hug your grandpa, I know that hug.
Right.
So it's like when you have that guy in the team, man, first of all, you don't disrespect them. You don't act crazy. You don't do none of that stuff. Because again, right, when Mike and what's the name was here, does Randle have outbursts? Of course Kenny Payne. Of course he had outbursts, but it wasn't like how it is this season. Because guess what? He wouldn't have disrespected Mike because he know Mike doesn't play that.
Right.
And the relationship,
yes.
to be able to have that conversation to understand, like Mike Woodson just seems like that kind of guy that can, you know what, I can look at him and see what he's going through right now. Let me pull him to the side. Let me have this
Sim,
conversation in
Just
this
ask
timeout
J.R.
real
Smith.
quick.
I was really about to say that, and it's crazy because like I remember that season, you know, you clearly saw the relationship between J.R. Smith and Mike Woodson, because even though J.R. Smith has his father in his life, he and I think, and it's crazy, I think Mike talked about it, that he used to talk to J.R. Smith's father a lot about J.R. And they used to have like a lot of good conversations about him. So that's like, I remember like those times when JR would do a stupid shot. I used to love this because Mike Woodson would literally just look at JR and JR would know what he did wrong.
Right.
Like I remember that.
I swear.
Isaiah Woodson had that face like,
nah. Hey, let me tell you something, man. He makes the faces my father makes when he's like, oh my God, Isaiah just did it again. God, so I know those faces, man. So I'm just like, no, but
and told you to get a switch.
Hey, don't bring up bad memories, man. He used to have to really get a switch. So don't do that.
But but these are things that the Knicks really got to think about going into next season.
And they need to be permanent too, by the way, Sim. Yeah. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's true. It needs to be permanent. That's true. But anyway, I want to go to Obi Toppin, right? We'll get to RJ. I want to go to Obi because Obi has an opportunity tonight and for as long as Randle's going to be out. What are your expectations for Obi right now, Andy?
Listen, I hope Obi uses these 12 minutes that he's going to get today off behind Taj. because this is might be his last chance this season to get an opportunity like this one, Sim. But to be true, Sim, I think really that, if he fumbles it again, he might be, one of those guys that, when he gets the chance, he just fumbles it.
Right.
And that's going to mean that maybe he's just a deep rotation guy, deserving only a couple of minutes a game. And, you got to have those guys on your roster too. It would be probably a waste of a number 8 pick in the first round. But, might be that. Never know.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to capitalize on the opportunity, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I do think, and this is what the Knicks are looking at. Every team in the league is looking at, right? When it comes to Obi. And, of course, they're doing their own things, but you got scouts and general managers, whoever, are looking and paying attention to say, you know what? This could be a guy that, we could trade for, depending on, who the Knicks are looking for, right? Indiana, let's say. Malcolm Brogdon, Dallas, Jalen Brunson could be looking to say, hey, this could be a guy that could be on our basketball team. What's he have in him? And they're going to look and say, this is the second time he got a chance. Can he do it? Right? And they don't care that you hadn't been in the lineup a long, starting unit a long time. And they want to see, can you capitalize on the opportunity? Because that's what guys do. Right? They get that chance. They capitalize on that opportunity. And they really go out there and ball out. And the Knicks are looking the same way. They need him to step in and really capitalize on it and play some good basketball. I hope that he's up for the task and ready. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because, these moments right here can be crucial for him and what happens as a New York Knick.
Yes, and just to add to that, I think, other teams might be, while they're scouting for Obi, just to play versus him. But of course, they take notes. For example, if the opportunity comes to trade for a guy, they're going to take into, value that he's basically not playing in the system that he is born to play, right? He's born to play in a fast-paced system, run and gun, up and down the court. The Knicks aren't playing this kind of basketball. So, best chance for Obi would be if he's on the court, just, push the tempo and he's going to get way easier. And not only on the offensive end, on the defensive end is also going to, be better for Obi if the Knicks play really fast pace.
Yeah.
So. And I'll say this too, just to add on what you're saying, Andy. To me, this might be one of his better chances, especially against a team like Atlanta, where you have John Collins out. He most likely probably going to be Danilo Gallinari. So you have a chance to look, I mean, we all know Danilo right now. We all know how he is, so it's not going to be like he had to chase him around the floor or anything like that. So to me, look, and I'm not trying to put screw that. He has to get the pressure. Like you said, Sim, these are the chances that you don't get that much in NBA. You're facing a team in Atlanta that's not good defensively. They're really not. You can run. You can probably do some run and gun a little. You could speed up the flow tonight because you don't have Randle pounding the ball so much. So you can have a chance to run up and down the court and show what you have, because again, you're the number 8 pick. Look, you gotta show something, because the 2 times that you did earlier this season, you kind of essed the bet a little bit. So to me, this is a big opportunity for him. So he has to make this count, because if he, if he doesn't, man, then it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to even sell him to opposing teams. And it's going to be tough to see where he's at. And then, after a while, a couple years from now, he's going to get, if he's still on the Knicks, we don't know. Probably not. But if he wants to extension, we got to see what he is. But, that's a whole different video.
Yeah. It's definitely, this is, I don't want to say this is it, but this is a big moment for Obi. And here's the thing. The previous moment may even help him tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he knows the last time he got this chance, he didn't perform.
It didn't go well.
It didn't go well. He didn't perform. You know what I mean?
He got 18 points, but...
I think he's going to really try to capitalize on it this time. Looking at the starting lineups, projected starting lineups for tonight for the New York Knicks: Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, and Mitchell Robinson. I'm projecting Obi Toppin to start at the power forward spot, okay? I don't listen at this point. I don't think Tom Thibodeau's going to start Taj Gibson. Taj Gibson might play. He might play, but I don't think he's going to start him over Obi. The thing is, Obi starts if Obi's not playing well.
Oh, he getting yanked. That's it.
Then he might get yanked.
He's getting yanked.
All right, but I don't think he's going to start Taj over Obi. I don't. You never know. You never know.
Sim, this is the place where when you advertise the game time, game day, the stuff, and tells Kev that they match up to $100 if you play in 100, so we can bet on that.
Yeah, so we can
50,
bet on
50
it,
on
right?
Taj and 50-50 on Obi.
Yeah,
we
might as well go ahead and do it.
The only $100 I want people to put up is that St. Peter's will win the whole NCAA tournament. That's all I want $100 up put up.
Man, you ain't know. Where's St. Peter's at?
Jersey City. Wife works right around the corner from the college.
Okay. That's the that was right next to his junior college. Come on.
He played. They said where he played ball at.
Right next to his junior.
Wow.
Where he played ball.
Wow. Just wow.
Hey, Kev, what ball you play? Ball.
Okay, but let me ask you this though, for real. Were you playing intramurals or were you playing on the team?
I was on the Union County College men's basketball team.
All right. Okay. What year?
We went to the championship. That was 90, 91, and 91, 92.
Okay.
Damn,
all right. Go ahead,
Only
Kev.
2 years, bro?
Went to the yeah, that's what a junior college is. 2 years.
Okay. Go ahead, Kev. What position?
Kev?
Point guard.
Oh, okay. You and Sim got something to talk about then.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Day pregame show. Andy reminded me. This is the Game Day pregame show. Please make sure you go to thegameday.com.
I wish I could use
all of your.
loosely.
Come on, co-host. I'm trying to do the ad. Sheesh. This is the Game Day. Go to thegameday.com, ladies and gentlemen, so you can get all of your up-to-date sports content and betting odds. All right, let's get to it. I don't know what co-host Kev was talking about, but anyway.
Hey, y'all opened the door to that, so.
I know, but you couldn't wait till I finished up the Game Day ad, though. Sheesh. Anyway, for the Atlanta Hawks, I might as well go right backwards again. For the New York Knicks, starting Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, and Mitchell Robinson. For the Hawks, Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter, Danilo Gallinari, and Clint Capella. Okay, so I guess it's time to talk about the matchups. I guess number one, Alec Burks and Trae Young. I don't know if that's going to be the matchup or not. Right? Or if they're going to put R.J. Barrett on Alec Burks. But then, R.J. Barrett on Trae Young. But then you got Alec Burks against DeAndre Hunter. So that's a iffy one. I don't know. Andy, what's your thoughts? Come around to everybody.
You got me head scratching, bro. I didn't think about it before even the show because I wasn't sure, what's going to be the starting lineups. But I think at the beginning we're going to start Burks on Young. Still, he's a little bit longer. I think though Tibbs might be changing the defense, accordingly to what's going to happen on the court. Why? I think because also John Collins is out. He's a major piece of that offense. He's playing majorly pick and roll with Trae Young, and if he's not there, they're going to try to use someone else in those plays and stuff like that. So depending how Trae Young is going to get loose on those threes or he's going to drive to the hoop, I think they're going to adjust correctly. And at the beginning, I really would see Burks on him at least till we get burned. So I'm guessing the first quarter is going to be Burks on Young.
All right, Kat, what's your thoughts? Is it going to be Burks? I think it might be that way too. Andy, what's your thoughts, Kev?
Scratch Burks and put Deuce McBride in. No, it's gonna be Burks. It's gonna be Burks. It's gonna be Burks. He's gonna start on him. I mean, let's be real.
All right. So then, what do you think about that matchup if he does start on?
He's gonna eat him alive. Trae Young. He's gonna eat him alive. That's what I'm saying. He's gonna eat him alive. He really is. He really is. Let's be real. He
All
is.
Right. That's it. That's it. He's just gonna eat him alive.
He's gonna. Trae Young is going to have his. He's gonna eat tonight. He's going to eat tonight. He's going to have sirloin, mashed potatoes with gravy, and greens. He's going to eat tonight.
All right.
And have some strawberry shortcake to go along with it.
Hey, Kev, coming from a point guard, I'm glad to hear that analysis.
And you said they're going to have topics to talk with Sim, right?
Let's be real.
Eddie, I'm Kev, the point guard. Oh man, he gonna eat his greens. He gonna eat his lunch meat. Like, come on, bro.
Sirloin, mashed potatoes, greens, and strawberry shortcake.
So I'm gonna just make it 4 for 4. Yeah, it's probably gonna be because you're gonna need RJ tonight, right? And you don't want RJ chasing, Trae Young around and get fouls. So we can't really afford him to be in foul trouble with Trae Young. So it's gonna be Burks. I'm more interested quickly. It's probably going to be quickly in Burks guarding Trae Young tonight.
Mm-hmm. I think RJ. I think RJ he'll get his moments.
He'll definitely get his moments. You just since RJ's our most consistent offensive piece, you just got to be careful with him. You just don't want to put him in a position to get either too early quick fouls, anything like that. But it's most likely going to be Burks, and I would like to see Burks put him in the post a little bit. I think Burks can do that. That'll do a lot good for us. Defensively, I mean, Burks is Burks. He's Trae Young right now. Trae Young is in a good zone right now. He's scoring really well. So
I mean, it's going to be up to the Knicks to play some team defense on them, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say that too. It definitely has to be team defense, and like I said, where I would really like to see more Burks and quickly on Trae today. It'd be better like that.
Isaiah, if I'm picking a guy off the bench versus Trae, I think we might see Grimes on him.
I forgot. Yeah. You're right.
So, but that's gonna be when a little bit later in the game.
Yeah.
I'm not crossing my fingers for Deuce, but that would be perfectly today. But because Trae is also a small guard, right? But I think Grimes is going to be definitely on him at least a couple of possessions. So
is Deuce going to be with the team today? Because on the injury report, they had him still assigned to the G League.
Oh,
so he's probably not going to play tonight.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to reassign him, back to the team, if they're going to call him back up, or if he's going to remain assigned to the G League. I haven't seen so far. So if he's with the G League team, then you can count that out. You know what I mean? He won't.
Kev going to drive to Bridgeport and go get him.
Right.
It could happen.
You got Evan Fournier and Kevin Huerter. Big Bubba, I'll start with you.
How many does he need to break the record?
6.
6?
6 to tie.
Okay. I mean, that guy's defense, man. It just if he was just like a semi-decent defender, it would be nice. But yeah, it ain't happening. I think it's gonna be a wash. I think is Kevin Huerter really a good defender?
Yes.
I mean, I don't think he's terrible.
I mean, he's decent.
He's
Yeah,
okay, I guess.
Yeah,
He's better than what's name. He's better than Fournier.
Listen, actually, Fournier's been playing okay defense, man. He's been playing the passing lanes. He's been getting a lot of steals over the last few games. Come on, man.
Yeah. That's why I think today's gonna be a wash. Today's gonna be a wash. I think Fournier's gonna come with his 14, 15 points, and I think today it's not gonna be a hot take, but he's gonna be one away from getting the 3-point.
Let me ask this: how much do you think it changes Evan Fournier's game offensively? Because a lot of what he does is off of Julius Randle, right? It's a lot there's a lot of handoffs between him and Julius Randle that get him open from the 3-point line. How much do you think it changes the way he plays today?
It scares me because I'm not a big fan of him off the dribble, and he just gets kind of wild when he just starts driving sometimes, and it's just not the best. I think hopefully him and RJ have a little more chemistry tonight, and RJ driving gets him on, because I think I've seen a couple plays. Was it yesterday where RJ was driving, kicked it out to Fournier? It could have been this last game or the other game before. So I hope in RJ driving kick-out game helps him out today.
I hope so. Because Obi Toppin is not going to play the same type of game with Evan Fournier that Julius Randle does.
No, not even close.
It's going to be, very different.
Sim, but if they're going to play in the pick and roll, bro, you're going to see a couple of dunks from Obi, thanks to Evan Fournier.
I hope so. I want Obi to come out and play well. But we'll see how that's going to go. Kev, your thoughts? Evan Fournier versus the kid from Albany, Kevin Huerter.
I'm a fan of the kid from Albany. That dude can play. Realistically, I think it's going to be a wash. I mean, I think it can be a wash, but for some reason, I'm gonna give Evan Fournier the benefit of the doubt. I think he'll win his matchup. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. So,
okay.
But I like Huerter's game. I like Huerter's game.
I mean, the thing is, tonight the Knicks are gonna need someone else to step up and score. So the likely person would be Evan Fournier or Alec Burks. I'm not gonna put it on Obi to step up and score, because he can't really score for himself. He needs an assist to get buckets. Andy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm picking Fournier. Definitely Sim.
Shocking.
Why? I think last game we played versus the Hawks, I don't think Huerter had a great game versus Fournier. And even if that's not the case, I think it's like you said, we don't have our main option, so I think the rest of the squad has to fill out. And even if they spread a couple of shots around the roster, I still think Fournier and RJ are probably going to take most of those shots that Randle would take, right? So I'm just curious how Fournier's pick and roll game with Mitch and with Obi is going to work compared to what he was doing with Randle on the court.
Yeah. When we're looking at this starting five without Randle, they play, the way that they play is going to be totally different, right?
Yeah.
And if Randle is out for an extended period, then you're going to get to see, the first 2 games, you might, it's like, okay, they have to adjust a little bit as you get longer. If Randle is out for a longer period of time and you play more basketball games, then you really start to see what they might look like and how different they play. The thing with me is, and regardless if it's Randle or somebody else, when you look at this lineup, who is the anchor? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there's an anchor out there on that offensive side. Hopefully it's RJ Barrett. You know what I mean? Hopefully it's RJ. But you got RJ Barrett and DeAndre Hunter. I like DeAndre Hunter, and I think RJ Barrett's got to really come out and play defense against this guy. He can score. He can score the ball in the mid-range. He can shoot it. He can post up. I really do like what DeAndre Hunter brings, and he's a good defender. And this might make the game even a little bit tougher for RJ tonight. I'm expecting RJ Barrett to win this matchup, but it's going to be a tough one because I think DeAndre Hunter is a good basketball player. You know what I'm saying? Andy, what's your thoughts on this matchup? Then I'll come back around the board.
Yes, Em, I agree with you. DeAndre Hunter has a history versus RJ Barrett with great games, not only defensively but also offensively. We saw him score, a couple of buckets. And the worst thing is for RJ that even if he gets past, DeAndre Hunter, Clint Capella is going to be waiting in that paint.
Right.
And we saw how much problems RJ can have versus great blocking centers like Gobert, like Whiteside last game, right? They were blocking literally, 50% of his shots in the paint. And I was like, I was thinking how Tibbs, didn't switch up the offensive scheme and just let those guys drive in the paint while he knew that they have two of top 10, best, blocking centers in this season, right? So it's like you at least should have told them, listen, you can drive if you see the lane, right? But it felt like, like he didn't. And I understand that RJ is a smart guy, right? He doesn't have to be told that if you don't see the lane, you don't drive there. But they were doing it no matter who and no matter which one was standing around in the paint, right? Meanwhile, I think you got to adjust. You got to adjust. This is the best league in the world. So, if you're just gonna ignore it that way, you're gonna get blocked.
Yeah, I wanted him to go small, at least for a stint, to see what happened. I wanted him to go with Obi and Julius and see if you can pull Gobert out the paint for a little while, so that you can.
And that's that's when you need the five that can stretch the floor.
Yeah,
a guy like Brook Lopez. Bro, they would have to bring out both Whiteside and Gobert out of the game.
Yep.
If you had a center like that,
changes everything because Gobert. They were. I think Utah had 11 blocks that game. They were throwing everything back, and if they weren't blocking it, the Knicks were worried about getting blocked. Kev, RJ Barrett and DeAndre Hunter. What's that mean?
RJ gonna get his. RJ gonna get his big time against a DeAndre. I ain't afraid no DeAndre Hunter. What my man say? Chicken dinner. What does he say?
Barbecue chicken.
Barbecue chicken.
Barbecue chicken. That's all it is. Barbecue chicken.
Yeah, you don't gotta be afraid of him. Just respect him. Don't be afraid of him because he can play some ball.
Let him. This is RJ Barrett. This is RJ Barrett.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I like the progression that RJ has shown this year, despite of us, probably being out, from the playoffs and everything. RJ, I think, is on another trajectory, and I think with Randle being out, we're going to see a lot more of that tonight. It's going to be on full display. As a matter of fact, I'm putting it down. He's going to get close to 50 tonight.
Oh, my. Okay. Well, listen, it's possible. He's dropped over 40. And he's dropped over 40. It's possible, but.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly. Exactly.
We're going to see.
Bottom line, I like RJ's matchup over DeAndre Jordan.
Okay. I think RJ Barrett's going to win the matchup. I'm just saying, DeAndre Hunter is a tough defender. And he's going to make RJ have to play on the other side of the floor. You know what I mean? Big Bubba, RJ and DeAndre.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell Kev's talking about. Kevin Hunter DeAndre Hunter can defend.
Yeah, see,
No, I mean the matchups. You look at the matchups between these two; they have been going at it before. Yeah, DeAndre Hunter has scored on RJ. Let's not act like he hasn't done that.
Right.
So yeah, for me tonight, I'm more looking at RJ's assist tonight. That's my biggest indicator tonight for me is RJ assist, because I think clearly the Hawks know that Randle's not going to be there. They know who RJ Barrett is and what he's doing right now. They're going to double team him. So I'm more interested in seeing RJ's kicking out game, him getting in the paint, dishing it out, him finding the cutters, him finding hopefully this tonight to me, Obi should be cutting a lot. Evan Fournier may quickly should be ready to shoot tonight, because again I think the defense is going to be hovering around RJ. So that's what I'm looking at tonight. I mean, of course, to me, RJ's going to get his points. I'm so accustomed to RJ doing what he's doing now that he's going to get his points. I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about the assists tonight and everything for him. So, and again, right, they're gonna try to pick and roll him. They're gonna try to put Trae on him defensively so that he can get fouled. They're gonna try to get RJ in foul trouble. That's gonna be one of their goals tonight. And then
let me retort that a little bit. I think RJ's assists, I think he's the only one that's looking to pass, other than Randle. I think he's looking more. You see how he tries to set up Mitch all the time when he's coming down, and he's also trying to set up Sims as well. So I think his assists,
me personally, I think RJ tonight should get close to about 7-8 assists. In my opinion, he should get that about tonight.
I can roll with
that. No, that's what I think he should be getting around tonight. Possibly 10 if they have him to play through him more and put the ball more in his hands. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm more worried about his assists tonight.
Chance for a triple double?
I don't know. I don't know.
Kev, what's going to Kev? See, I don't like when Kev does this, because the next thing you know, RJ Barrett 8 points. 5 assists.
Right. Especially when you look at the way he's played against Atlanta this season. We're going to look at that in just a minute.
I'll wear a paper bag over my head tonight.
Yeah, Kev, you might need to bring your mic down a little bit because you got low. I don't know if you adjusted your mic or something like that.
No, I didn't touch anything.
The mic that's in front of your face, I don't know what you're looking at.
How's that?
No, I'm just saying, you have moved it up, or you had moved it up away from your mouth. I'm saying when you put it back, I don't think you put it back in the, That's all I'm saying.
Right. Okay.
That's all I'm saying. You're looking at the screen. I'm like, well, what are you looking at? The mic is right there in his face. I don't get it. Now, Obi Toppin is going up against Gallo. I'm going to be pissed off if Gallo gets the best of Obi tonight, bro. Okay? It's possible, and it can happen. But I'll be pissed off if Gallo gives it to Obi. He better not give it to Obi tonight.
Tell us how you really feel.
I'm telling you, man. I'll be heated if he gives it to Obi tonight. Ken, what do you think about that matchup, man?
I think it's another wash. I would like to see Obi shine tonight, but I think they're gonna cancel each other out. So there you go.
Come on, man. Cancel each other out. Come on. I mean, I know Gallo can still play basketball, but come on, man. He should not be able to keep up with Obi. He shouldn't be able to keep up with Obi.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. I see him sprinting down the court and everything. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you. If he doesn't, I'm going to be pissed too. So I'm with you in the same boat.
Yeah. Andy.
Yeah. Sim, I wouldn't be surprised if Gallo won this matchup. No, the worst thing that I can see today is if Gallo, for example, takes him off the dribble and literally puts him on skates and just dunks the ball over Obi, man. This is gonna yank him straight up. He's gonna call a timeout just to yank him for that. So if Gallo does, because listen, and we gotta realize that Gallo has a 3-point shot just waiting. So Obi has to step out, and if he's gonna step out, Gallo's gonna have a place to dribble and just to go past him.
Right.
So I just hope Obi ain't gonna be that much stressed about it. and he ain't gonna slip anywhere on the court because that's gonna be really bad.
Yeah. I hope so, man. I don't want Gallo to do Obi like that, but Gallo can still shoot, can still play. He may not be fast, but he can still post up and get some buckets. He can shoot the ball from 3.
And he can draw those fouls, remember?
Yeah.
That was from literally from his rookie season, right? So
Yeah. I seen some people say they think Obi is definitely dropping 20 tonight.
Cool.
Who's this? Rapper Stoned, whoever is Rapper A Stoned.
Rapper Stan.
Okay. He said he's a huge Obi hater. I don't know why. I don't know why anybody wants to hate on Obi. He's a nice dude. He said, so I'm hoping Gallo drops 40 on him.
That happening.
I ain't gonna say that ain't happening because if he gets hot, you know what I'm saying? Obi's not the best defender.
Yeah.
And he's good at losing his man in rotations, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if that happens though, then Taj is coming in. No doubt about it. Taj is coming in. Go ahead, Big Bubba.
I swear, if Obi get crossed by D'Lo, I'm gonna just, I can't even watch it, bro.
You better not.
I'm not even joking. I'm gonna be real. Okay, look, right. We all know these are NBA players. We all know they are the top athletes in the world. I'm sorry, Obi better not be a wash. I'm sorry. No. It better not be a wash. Obi better have a better game than Danilo. If he can't have a better game than Danilo Gallinari, which yes, we know he was a Knick. We drafted in 2008. No, not 2008.
Yeah, 2008. I think it was 2008.
Oh yeah. Oh, Steph Curry was 2009. Jerome. Oh God. But if Obi can't guard this brother or can't have a better game than him, I'm gonna tell people that love Obi, it's gonna be tough for his career.
I mean, but it's not even about him guarding a one-on-one. It's about the rotations, right? Catching him in rotation because Gallo is going to be floating around that 3-point line. You know what I'm saying? And they get inside the lane. Trae Young gets inside the lane. Obi's going to be expected to help out. That kick out was coming. Bomb. Splash. That's the scary part. You know what I'm saying?
So, Sim, how do you play it?
I mean, you got to play it that way, right? You got to play it that way. They got to help the helper. Everyone got to help the helper. So if Obi is coming in to help, then whoever is closest to Gallo has to help out until Obi gets back to Gallo, et cetera, right? You got to help the helper.
And we should be, and Sim, to be honest, we should be a little bit quicker between Quickly, Grimes, RJ. I mean, it would be nice to have McBride, but I don't think he's going to play. But we have some guys that we can, and Obi's bad defensively, but we should have guys that we should be able to recover a little bit better today.
We'll see.
Again, because
well, here's a good way to know if it's scheme or if it's players, right? Because a lot of times people get upset. They say, "Oh, Randle should have helped out here," or "This guy should have helped out there." Well, guess what? Randle's not there, right? So if you see Obi do the same exact thing, then that means it's scheme.
Scheme, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Sim.
So if you see Obi just like, take his hand and reach it out towards the person going to the basket and be ready to get back out to the guy that's in the corner, then you know that's scheme.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you see him actually getting in there, and stopping the person from penetrating to the basket, then you know it's Randle.
Oh, Sim. Also, by the way, Sim, I guarantee you tonight, someone's going to blame Randle if you lose. Tonight, I guarantee you.
And say what? Randle should have been there?
I don't know, but they're going to blame him somehow. They're going to blame him.
Well, that's stupidity. All right, that's stupidity.
Yeah, it's going to be you.
Okay, somebody. Hold on. Let me get to this caller real quick, and then we're going to come back and talk about Mr. Robinson and Click Capella. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
Oh, Sim, what's up? It's Rapper A Stone. I hear y'all trying to get my name right.
Rapper A. Okay, I said it right the first time. There you go.
Yeah, you definitely did, Sim. But I just want to say I don't hate Opie. I just hate that we picked him.
Okay.
That's it. I never liked his college game. I don't know why. I don't understand. He never fit the role that we needed. for that whole draft. We needed Tyrese Halliburton from the jump, and we had a chance to pick him, and we fucked that over. Like, that's what I'm trying to say when I say I don't like Obi. I'm taking it out on him from the draft. I'm just tired of us fucking up our draft class.
Oh, watch the language. Keep the language cool.
Whoa. Come on, brother. I know you're a rapper, brother. I know.
Stealing, drafting the right player they're supposed to draft. Like, when we could have got Michael Porter Jr., but we drafted Kevin Knox. So it's like, I'm irate. I'm irate with our drafting process. So that's why it's like, when people be like, tank, I'm like, well, we could tank, but then who we going to trust to draft? You understand what I'm saying? So
I dig it.
like,
No, I dig it. I get it. You know, and I hear you. I don't know. And listen, that's another reason why, you know, I'm not a big tankathon person either, because, you know what I mean? I mean, you got to draft well, bottom line. You know, someone pointed out the Suns the other day, and I'm like, literally, the Suns drafted, what's his name, with the 13th pick. Since then, they had like 5 top 5 picks, and only one of those players are still on the team. All the other guys are gone. You know what I'm saying? That's DeAndre Ayton is still on the team. Everybody else is gone.
Golden State.
You know, so.
You see what Jonathan Kuminga and them Moses Moody, them boys doing for Golden State this year?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You got to be able to draft. It's not always about Memphis, where you draft. It's about draft.
It's like you got all these teams around the NBA. Why we just can't follow that process?
Well, I mean,
brother, but you can't. My thing is, like, I mean, technically the Knicks have been playing bad. We have top 10 picks. It's just about who they prefer to draft. Again, we could go through it all day, because we've had shows on here where who we wanted, and I mean, for the most part we have picked other players than the ones that we actually wanted. But it's not up to us. I mean, sadly, it's not up to us.
That's just my fight. We will never be a great team, the team that we all know we could be, until we draft well and have a consistent roster of young cores. That's going to be, this is our solid young 5 for the next 5 years. That's when you know we're going to be a great, until we get that right now, we just going to be a team looking to sign mediocre free agents. Like, I don't want to just say the days of like Burks and Fournier for $80 million with a ripoff.
Hey, I hear you, man. Hey, Rap, I appreciate your call, man. Hey, I appreciate your time. Appreciate your call, man.
You too, son, man.
Have
Keep
a good
doing
one.
your thing, man. I salute y'all. Salute to the Knicks, man. We the real fans here, baby. We should be the real team. We should have our own Knicks team.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate you.
Kev the point guard, though. Kev got to be the point guard.
Don't start that.
Yeah. Kev can be the point guard. Backup point guard, maybe. I don't know.
Back up. You just started.
Let me remind everybody, this is not Twitter Spaces, so just keep the language cool. I know on Twitter Spaces they be going off.
hey, the caller, man. I was like, man, this ain't BT on that call. I was like, damn,
it was a good call, though. It's a good call, but yeah, he let it loose a little bit.
Yo, Sammy, I wish you had the bleep thing, man. That'd be funny if you had the bleep thing.
Right. Mitchell Robinson and Clint Capella. This is gonna be a tough one for Mitch, man. You know, Mitch got to get out there and be on the boards, because you know Clint Capella is going to be on the boards. You know what I'm saying? Clint Capella is an offensive rebounding machine. Mitch sometimes is that. Other nights, like against Utah, Rudy Gobert, Mitch was nowhere to be found. You know what I'm saying? And this is where everybody gets, asking questions about, paying Mitchell Robinson. You know what I mean? And how much to pay Mitchell Robinson because of the consistency, especially when you get playing against, the big names, the big guys that's out there. One day, Mitch is going to be the big guy or one of the big guys that's out there, though. And he's still, normally when he plays against people who are his age, he does what he has to do. Hopefully that's a good sign in saying in a couple of years, he'll be consistent across the board with everybody. But still, Mitchell Robinson's really he's got to play tonight. He's got to be, there's a lot. He's got to be able to offensive rebound. He's got to do well in that screening role. Okay, he's got to stay out of foul trouble. So there's a lot of responsibility on Mitchell Robinson's back tonight. Andy, your thoughts. And caller, stay patient. I'm going to get to you.
Yes, and exactly like you said, a lot of responsibility on Mitch's back today on the game. It might be a similar situation with the Jazz game. If Capella is going to be killing us in the paint and with the screen and roll and the pick and roll play, the best situation would be just try to, stretch the court with a small ball lineup and get Capella out of there. And I think, listen, it might be not a bad idea just to try to play Obi at the 5 and plug in just shooters around the court. Put quickly at the 1. Even Burks, RJ, and Fournier, and count that the threes are going to be falling for the Knicks, because if Mitch is going to stink up the game like he did with the Jazz, man, without Randle, I don't know who's going to get the rebounds for the Knicks. So that might be a lost cause. And I think Tibbs is going to start looking at how Mitch works in the screen and roll plays. If he's going to be able to stop Capella or Trae, and it's going to work, and the Knicks are going to be up, I think he's going to stick with the tactics. If not, we're probably going to see an adjustment. Question is the adjustment going to come that fast that, for example, they go up by 6 or 8 and he's going to adjust, or we're going to go down by 20 and then he's going to wait till halftime just to make the adjustment. So let's hope that's not going to be the case this game.
Yeah. Okay. Isaiah?
Yeah, so Sim, this is interesting matchup because Clint Capella isn't the high tier centers. He's more like a second tier. And again, right, I know people like, you got Kev, like you said, pay that man, but you got to look and think, like, is he doing this against premium?
Pay that man.
Is he doing this against premium centers, or is he doing this against, the centers that are not that good? Because again, right, like you said, last game, Hassan Whiteside, Rudy Gobert, where's Mitch? Where is he at? So you got to take these things into consideration. And I know Clint Capella not having the best year from what I've been reading and stuff. He's not having his best year. But listen, man, if you want to be Mitch, you want to get paid. If you want to do what you say you want to do, you want that 15, 17, whatever million, you gotta produce from me. These are the games that you get your money. You don't get your money when you play the center from OKC, no disrespect, or you play, I don't know. You just play a random center. You play a random center.
Yeah, listen, Clint Capella, even though he's still averaging 12 points, 11 points, 12 rebounds a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yeah, and again, right? I mean, Clint Capella, he plays good against the Knicks. That boy, right. He played good. So again, right, this to me is the games that, hey, Mitch, this is how you turn 13 million into 16 million. These are the games. So
yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see. A lot of responsibilities on Mitch tonight.
Yeah, and what we gotta acknowledge. Listen, this matchup is going to be basically about hustle, because none of these guys are like the main focus of the offense. They just, who hustles harder is going to be the better, because we're going to win the matchup tonight. So.
Yeah. LaRon Maynard said Obi killed ATL in the playoffs last year. I think he averaged 5 points a game. No, it might have went up to 7 points a game in the playoffs.
That's killing.
NBA 21 maybe.
Yeah, we got legitimately swept, and that's killing.
Go ahead, Kev. You had your hand raised.
Listen, I don't know what my co-host is talking about, ladies and gentlemen, people in the chat. You pay that man. Pay him 15 for 5 years, all right?
You can't do it.
That money.
You can't do it.
Whatever. Pay that man. All right. Because if we let him walk, who we got then?
Hey, Kev,
then we have another project that we have to
work into
with Jericho Sims. All right. And I don't even know if he's gonna be what.
Did we pay Randle?
Huh?
You pay Randle for having a good year?
It's not about. Is Randle our future? Is Randle our future?
We give him 4 years.
Let me get to a phone call. Let me get the phone call.
Oh yeah, dodge the question.
Caller, caller, you're live. Tell me anything where you're from.
Yeah, this is Ray from Brooklyn.
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Shout out to the panel. Shout out to you, Sim. I just want to quickly say, Andy, I think what you just said summarizes what this entire game is about. And I'm glad you said it. It comes down to hustle. And we have the legs. We have more than half the team that has the ability to do that. We're not going to beat this team in the half court because we're not a better half court offensive team. We're just not. And Tibbs schemes and systems and sets don't really work for this particular unit. So it's all going to be about guys getting out in transition. Now, granted, you're not going to run for 48 minutes, but Gallinari and Capella are not running the floor like that, which should give opportunity for Obi Toppin and Mitchell to pretty much get out in transition. Also, with that being said, I also want to, my second point has more to do with Obi Toppin. I don't want to focus too much on Randle because, like Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. And that's all Julius Randle's stay here in New York has been since 2019. I don't remember anyone jumping over the fence and screaming, celebrating, let's pay Randle and all this different stuff. He just had one good year out of 7. Take it for what it is. He earned it, all that wonderful stuff. But he is who he is, and we just need to, move on. But with regards to Obi, and I'm going to get off the call, Obi Toppin has had he averages 15.1 minutes per game. That's what the stats show. However, in proper context, he's only had 15.1 games, or games that were more than 15 minutes. And in those 15 minutes, or in those 20 games that he's had, he's averaged 12.4, 5.3 rebounds, and 1.2 assists. I added up all the plus minus numbers as well. He's a consistent positive 9.6, which tells me he's a positive player. The last time that he had his opportunity to play, he had 19. It was against Toronto. He had 19 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists on 7 for 12 field goals, 1 of 4 for 3-pointers, 4 of 4 from free throws. So he obviously hits his free throws at a pretty good clip. 2 blocks and 1 steal. That's a pretty good game. And obviously they're playing the Toronto Raptors, so it's the Toronto Raptors. You know what I mean?
But
not a whole lot you can do there. But I think Obi Toppin has the ability to do something that no one else really can, and that's play within the offense, play within the flow. Now, you can gripe about his ability to shoot the 3 and whatnot, but the system calls for him to be stuck in the corner and shoot 3.
Let me ask you this.
Never doing a Dayton.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Because all the time people, throw out stats and stuff like that, right? You hear stats, with this guy not on the floor, the Knicks are, score this many points or that many points and all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm not discounting the stats. I believe you. But what is the win-loss record? Those moments when Obi Toppin is playing more than 15 minutes, what's the win-loss record? What was the situation that he played 15 minutes? Because, like, for example, people are like, oh, well, when Deuce was playing 18 minutes a game, the Knicks were 3-0. Well, the Knicks also won those games by 30 points. You know what I'm saying? So, did the Knicks win because Deuce was out there on the floor? Or was Deuce playing 18 minutes because the Knicks were up by 30 points? You see what I'm saying? So, like, all of those things come into place. So when you talk about Obi and you say, well, he's in those games, he's a positive 9. Well, who's on the floor when he's playing those games? What kind of games were they? Were they blowout games? Did they result in wins? And was he playing against starters? Because that's what we're measuring him on right now when you look at tonight. How is he performing against starters out there on the floor? And I think there's a big difference between starters and guys coming off the bench and how you perform. You know what I'm saying? So I think all of those things got to come into, when you're assessing a player, I think all of those things got to come into play. Because when you start to play a lot of minutes against starting units, all of a sudden, you're playing 30 minutes against a starting unit and, you're like, well, he's averaging 12 points in those 15 minutes. All of a sudden, now he's averaging 10 points over 30 minutes. And you're like, what happened? Well, it's because now he's playing against starters. So I think all of those things come into play.
I think you're absolutely right. I think context matters. And I don't want to go so far as to say stats tell the entire story. It's only one part of the story. However, we do see a difference in energy level, which is something kids complains about every post-game presser, right? Oh, we needed more energy. Well, you got an energy guy, but you're playing him 5 to 8 minutes per night. And on the one occasion when we're up by 30, or something like that, he gets those extra minutes. I think we just need to. I know everyone keeps talking about, oh, we should have gotten Halliburton, we should have got all these other players, but the reality was, given Randle's 2019 season, this front office came in with a plan to replace Randle. And when they came in to replace Randle, he decided to have one of these Twilight Zone incredible seasons that we'll never forget, but it's pretty much a one-hit wonder type season. That's just what it is, and we drafted Obi. So I'm not mad at the pick. I'm mad at our intention for developing Obi, and we haven't given him a fair shake. I don't know how anyone can fairly evaluate Obi Toppin, the basketball player on our team, given the situation and all the context surrounding that, as you pointed out.
I mean,
but that's just my take.
I mean, you can't evaluate him right now, until he's getting out there and he's consistently playing against starting units. That's when you can really evaluate what, he's going to be. My thing is, I'm just a big believer that, especially a guy who's already in the rotation, if you can produce and really, really, really change the fortunes of your team and help change the fortunes of your team, I feel like the coach is going to put you out there.
Right.
So I mean, we'll see. He's going to get the chance. I think Randle might be out for a few more games than just tonight. If the Knicks lose tonight, like Andy said, you might see him out for the remainder of the season, because this could be the nail in the coffin right here. The Knicks lose this game. So we will see. But hey, my man, I appreciate your time and I appreciate your call.
Appreciate you, Sim.
Appreciate it.
I disagree with you, Sim, because if what you say is true, then Tibbs should have had better personnel playing instead of him relying on all these bets.
Listen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not even gonna go there with you, Kev. You know what I'm saying? I like Deuce and everything.
I'm not just talking about Deuce, but I'm talking about like Grimes in the beginning.
But he's playing right now.
Yeah, right now. But what about? Okay, all right.
I mean, like right now, Grimes is a staple of. He's not coming out the rotation. Grimes is a staple. He is coming next year. Grimes is a staple now, because he got his chance and he proved to Tom Thibodeau, I belong out here on the court. And Tom Thibodeau loves the kid. He is a staple now. The same thing happened with Emmanuel Quickly. You can't say he's not giving these guys chances to prove that they can perform and then playing them. You can't say that, because Quickly last year was a rookie. Became a staple.
Got a lot of minutes.
Got a lot of minutes. This year, when he wasn't playing well, he rocked with him anyway. Still had
and we hated him for it.
And we was mad at him for it. There's a lot of things to complain about with Tom Thibodeau. I just don't think playing the young guys is one of them. I'm sorry. I just don't think that's one of them. He might not play your favorite young guy.
Isaiah, you agree with this?
I have to, Kev. I mean, look, we've killed Thibs. Actually, you know what's kind of funny? We have to get away from this myth he doesn't play young guys. We really do. And mind you, I'm a big critic. I'm a big person.
He didn't play the rookies. I mean, he's playing Grimes now, but he didn't play the rookies in the beginning.
Kev,
that's what I'm saying.
But hold on. But for the last 2 years, he has played the rookies.
He didn't play them now. That's what I'm saying. When did Grimes got time out of necessity? Let's be real. When Derrick Rose and I don't know who else went down, that's when he put Grimes in. He didn't put Grimes in the beginning. I did not see Grimes game one when he was playing against Boston.
Wait, hold on, Kev. So, Kev, here's the thing, right? And mind you, I wanted to be clear. I'm one of those people that really, I'm not the biggest fan of Tom Thibodeau, but you have to admit that since he's been here, he has played the young guys. And here's another shocker. They've gotten better. Like people don't. I know people don't like to call him a development coach because he has this myth about playing the veterans. But I'll be honest, Kev, has RJ looked better under Thibs or David Fizdale?
I'm not even putting Fizdale in there. He was a used car salesman.
But I'm asking you, who did he look better under?
He looks better under Tibbs. He looks good under Tibbs.
How does Quickly look?
He looks good. And after a while, I think he was going through that sophomore slump.
Kev, though, like And I'm granted, I was one of the people. They should have benched IQ. But guess who didn't listen to us? Who didn't listen to us?
Okay. All right. So Tibbs is great. Okay.
I'm just,
All
it's listen, there's a lot of things to complain about with Tom Thibodeau. I just don't think playing the young guys is one of them. I think he's played them. You can't play all of them. That's that. And I'm sorry. I know a lot of people disagree with me. I like Miles McBride. I don't think that he changes the game to the point where you said he has to be out there. I think Grimes does. I don't think Miles McBride does. That's the way I see it. Sorry, Kev. That's just the way I say it. Anyway, let's talk about the benches, right? Because on the bench for the Atlanta Hawks, Kevin Knox could be playing tonight. He's normally, he's a DNP, but he could be playing tonight. Bogdanovich is out, or he's questionable. If Bogdanovich doesn't play, you could very well see Kevin Knox playing tonight. Lou Williams
getting 30 tonight.
Lou Williams is out. All right, so with Lou Williams being out, Kevin Knox could get some time as well. All right, of course, for the New York Knicks, you got Emmanuel Quickley, you got Quentin Grimes, Jericho Sims, probably Taj Gibson was going to get some burn off the bench. All right, and again, I think Miles McBride just might be assigned to the G League. I haven't seen anything yet to say, that he's been recalled to the Knicks. The bench play, Andy, who do you give the bench to?
Sim, I think the huge factor here is Bogdanovich. I think if he has an injury that he can go and he can play today, he will play, because they also realize, that this game, by winning just this game, they might draw such a cushion till the season, till the play-ins, that they basically could be like, listen, if we win this game, we can afford to have 2 losses more, in the next couple of games, or 3 losses even more, because that's going to be enough for us to stay in the play-in position.
Right.
So I think, they're going to try to win this game for, like this is like the first game of the play-ins. So I'm guessing that Bogdanovich is going to play, and that's going to make it really, really dangerous for the Knicks, because Bogdanovich, he can catch fire really, really fast, and he's a great player. I personally, like his game and would love him to be a Knick. That's not the case now, but listen. Also, Quentin Grimes, after coming back from the injury, he's not the Quentin Grimes that we saw before the injury. He's not making that many. He's not even taking that many shots. He's not making that many shots. So I hope, he's going to have that game that he's finally going to make a shot, see the ball go through the hoop, and then going to, get that confidence back up. And if that's going to happen, and Quickly's going to have a, hot game, our bench is going to win, right? But if there's going to be any concern from the guys on the bench from the Knicks, might as well go to the Hawks bench. And I really hope that Kevin Knox isn't going to burn us, because that also could be a situation.
It could.
Exactly.
It could. Before we move on to the team comparison, and I don't want to belabor the point, but I want to ask Kevin, I want to ask you this. All right. Is RJ Barrett one of the kids?
Absolutely.
Is Mitchell Robinson one of the kids?
Absolutely.
Is Emmanuel Quickley one of the kids?
Absolutely.
Is Obi Toppin one of the kids?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you're talking about 40% of the lineup, of the rotation. Hold up. Let me finish. 40% of your rotation are kids, with two of them being second-year players. One of them being, what's RJ, a third-year player?
Yeah, third year.
Right? Okay, so that's at the beginning of the season. And those guys were staples. They were playing, bam, no matter what. Now, fast forward, Quentin Grimes became a staple. Because I seen someone else say, he played the kids because he had to. We just named 4 kids. And I didn't say that they were kids. I asked you, Kev, if they were kids, and you said yes. We just named 4 kids who were in the rotation before Quentin Grimes ever got in the rotation.
Okay, can I speak now?
Sure.
Okay, so I've been on record, and I've also corrected myself. Because, yes, I was one of those people that said he got to play the kids. I changed my tune. I said he had to play the rookies. The rookies. That's what I'm talking about.
Why does he have to?
They're not getting the run. They're not getting the run.
But why?
Why
do you have to? No. Don't say all these other teams, because all these other teams are not playing their rookies. People point out 1 or 2 teams that are playing their rookies when all these other teams are not always playing their rookies. You talk about Miles McBride, who was a second-round pick. Go see how many people are playing their second-round pick rookies. Or if their second-round pick rookies are in the G League. They're not.
All I'm saying is that Deuce McBride is known for defense.
All I'm saying is that it takes patience.
I'm not finished.
It takes patience.
I'm not finished.
It takes patience. You got to be patient.
I'm not finished.
When guys get their chance, then they can go with it. It takes patience. Like for example, Emmanuel Quickly. He wasn't automatically in the lineup last year. Frank Ntilikina wasn't playing well. He threw Emmanuel Quickly in. Emmanuel Quickly took it. And he couldn't take him out the lineup. That's how it happens. Like, you got to be special, like really, really special to come in and just take somebody's spot right off jump.
Oh, so not Quentin Grimes, Deuce McBride isn't special.
No, he's not special like that. He's not that kind of special. You have to be a super special player to just come in like, this is my spot, and you take it. He's not that kind of player, not right now.
I think the chat would disagree that that McBride.
I'd say, listen,
beginning right now.
Yeah, that's cool. Right now. That's cool. They can disagree all they want. Right?
Yes, and you and I will agree to disagree.
They can disagree all they want, but you look around the league and go look in the G League and see how many second-round picks are in the G League.
I'll look at Denver. I will look at Denver.
Okay.
We went out there, and we went out there, and I forget, and I hope the chat can help me remember, but there was a guard there that wasn't a first rounder that was kicking our tail coming off the bench.
Nobody said that it doesn't happen. It happens. Clearly it happens. But Deuce McBride had his chances to get out there, and he's not that player right now.
Okay.
He can play defense. Offensively, he still needs some work on some stuff. That's okay. It's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying is,
I think he's trying to find his niche offensively because
give
he doesn't
it
have
some
the same
time.
freedom.
Let the guys grow a little bit. That's our problem as a fan base. They
still got to get experience, right?
He's getting some. He's playing. Listen, playing in the G League is a higher level than playing in college. He's getting some experience. He's learning. Give these guys. Fred VanVleet played for a few years in a year and a half in the G League.
Okay.
He's an all-star now.
Yeah, he is.
But his first year in the league, he wasn't playing for the Raptors. He played like 7 or 8 games or something like that.
And so is Pascal Siakam.
All I'm saying is give the guys some time to grow.
Okay.
We want to rush everything.
Okay. All right. I'm going to give him time.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right.
This ain't a microwave oven.
Moving along.
This ain't a microwave oven. Anyway, let's look at the team comparison because the last 3 games, the New York Knicks have beaten the Atlanta Hawks. All right, over the last 3 games. This season, they've beaten the Hawks. So the Knicks already won the tiebreaker over the Hawks. Already won the tiebreaker. The Knicks are averaging 105.7 points per game. The Hawks are averaging 95. The Knicks are averaging 48 rebounds. The Hawks, 43. 24 assists for the Knicks, 21.3 for the Hawks. 4 steals for the Knicks, 7 for the Hawks. 3 blocks for the Knicks, 5 for the Hawks. Both teams not really turning the ball over. 10 for the Knicks, 9 for the Hawks. The Knicks shooting 46% from the field, 36.7% from 3, but only 68% from the free throw line. Where the Hawks, so far this season against the Knicks, haven't really shot that well. 41% from the field, 32% from 3, and 68% from the free throw line. I think Julius Randle played in all of these games. RJ Barrett played in all of these games. You know, the Hawks, I don't think they've always been healthy. and they're not totally healthy in this game. But do these numbers mean anything to you, Andy?
Listen, just from the record from this season, we are up 3-0, and it seems like we have the favorable matchup, right, versus them. So just from that stat, I think the Knicks should be going into the game, at least having high hopes to get a W. But like we said before, this isn't a regular season game. This is basically the play-in game for both teams, and both teams realize it, that this win will basically get them the pass to the play-ins, because even though the Knicks, if they win, they still gotta have rack up the W's, right? Meanwhile, when the Hawks win, they're basically in there. So I think this game is going to be treated really, really importantly from both squads. Sim, they got Trae Young. That kid can get hot. He can score 30, 40, even 50 points on you on a given night, right? I don't think we have that kind of a player on our roster with that kind of a potential, right? We know that RJ can go for 40 can go for 40, but that's a really lower possibility than Trae Young going for 40, right? So it's going to be definitely a hard game. I'm actually happy that it's going to be on national TV because it's on TNT, I think.
Oh, okay.
So I really think that this is going to be a good game, and at least I hope it's going to be a good game. So.
Oh, it is on TNT. Yeah, 7:30 on TNT. I didn't even realize that. Anything, Kev? These numbers here that anything stands out to you?
The blocks, we were blocking 3.3 a game almost, and they're doing 5, close to 5. That's probably the only one. Even though I think Mitch is gonna get some more blocks this go around. I'm liking his energy around the basket. That's the only one. I like our points. I like our rebounding. I like our assists. It looks like the steals. Atlanta averages a little bit more of the steals than us. So
yeah, see, for me, I think rebounding stands out. I think the Knicks, they've been winning the rebound battle all season long, and I want them to continue to win the rebound battle tonight. I think that's going to be important, especially with Randle out.
Yeah, I was going to say some that the Randle being out, probably puts those whole numbers in the trash bin, because he's such a factor on the Knicks offense. I'm not even saying the defense, but just on the offense, that this game is going to look totally different.
Yeah, I'm with you there. The Queen's Court chimed in. She said, for starting IQ, he's earned it, and I think he plays better at point guard than Burks at the point guard spot. Do you think tonight would be a night to start IQ, just based on matchups alone, instead of Burks? Go ahead, Kev.
Yes, I'm in total agreement with Queen's Court, Stephanie. I am in total agreement. I would start IQ over Burks, for that. I'm not saying that Burks won't get in, but I would start him over. I would start IQ over Burks, just for that.
Yeah. Any particular reasons, Kev, or just
I think I believe IQ could stay with IQ. I believe IQ could stay more with Trae Young than Burks can.
Okay. All right. And just for the record, from the chat, Kev, repping old school said, "Good, Sim. Tired of all these guys thinking we have a group of all-stars."
And I never said that we had a group of all-stars, all right? My God.
Just a rookie of the year team.
Right.
I'm not a rookie of the year team either. I'm just saying get minutes. That's all I'm saying.
Key matchup of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, these two guys may not really defend each other, but They're the key players for each team. RJ Barrett for the Knicks. So far this season versus Atlanta, he's averaging 16.7 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2.7 assists. He's shooting 39.1% from the field and 25% from 3, and 59% from the free throw line. Trae Young versus the Knicks this season in 3 games, 31 points, 3.5 rebounds, 6 assists, 47% from the field, 41% from the 3-point line, and 78.6% from the free throw line. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your Thrive Fantasy matchup of the night. Use the code NBK to get 100% of your first deposit up to $100 matched. All right, caller, you're live. Talk to me about this matchup. RJ Barrett, Trae Young matchup. Caller, you there? I guess we lost the caller. I don't know what happened to him, but anyway.
I know I hear him barking, so.
Yeah, that's actually my dogs in the background making all that
sure
noise.
Them killers.
Yeah, that's
Them
my
killers.
guys making. Kev, your thoughts on this matchup?
On which matchup?
Oh my goodness, were you paying attention? RJ Barrett, Trae Young, their numbers versus each other, not versus each other.
I thought
their
we
numbers.
talked about that.
Their
I thought
numbers.
we talked about it earlier.
Oh, I mean, but we're looking at the numbers though, because you talked about RJ Barrett dropping 50 tonight, and he's been averaging 17 against the Hawks on shooting 39.1% from the field.
Again, I could see RJ doing that, but then again, I can also see Trae Young doing that as well. Trae Young, he's a special player, man. He's a special player. But again, I like my chances more with RJ than I do with Trae. There's just something about RJ that I'm really liking. I don't know if it's he just has it. He just has it. And it's really showing. So that's all.
Yeah. Andy?
Listen, Sim, if RJ better get those 50 if he wants to be, pull up that season average to 22 versus the Hawks. So he better get that 50
goodness, right.
if he's averaging 17 through 3 games. So
yeah, so RJ's over the last, basically he needs to average 23 points per game over the last 11 games so he can average 20 points a game for the season. You know what I mean? I think he's going to do it. After the All-Star break, I think he's averaging 24, 25 points per game after the All-Star break.
More, I think so.
Yeah, so I don't think there's going to be any kind of a problem there.
You see what you just started? Repping old school, just put on here All-Star Kev. Now I got another nickname.
There you go, All-Star Kev.
You know what? All-Star Kev.
All-Star Kev.
Great. Thanks, repping old school. Thanks a lot.
All-Star Kev. I mean,
Another name.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But ladies and gentlemen, this is your Thrive Fantasy matchup of the night. Again, go to thrivefantasy.com. The link is in the description of the video, and use the code NBK and get a 100% deposit match of your first deposit up to $100. Again, RJ Barrett versus ATL this season in 3 games, averaging 16.7 points per game. Also averaging 5 rebounds, 2.7 assists, and shooting 39.1% from the field. All right, shooting 25% from 3 and 58.8% from the free throw line. And Trae Young versus the Knicks this season in 3 games, averaging 31 points, 3.5 rebounds, 6 assists, shooting 46.7% from the field and 41% from 3. These are the 2 guys to watch on the night. Andy and Kev, any concerns at all about the field goal percentage from RJ Barrett?
No, why?
Just versus the Hawks? Yeah, I'm concerned.
Versus the Hawks?
I know that's and I'm concerned because I bet DeAndre Hunter has plenty to do with that percentage. Also Clint Capella. Listen, this I noticed that RJ's game, which is mostly nowadays driving to the hole, versus good blocking centers, he's always going to get that adjustment, right? So he, is going to have tougher games. And DeAndre Hunter is a really good defender, long wingspan, played great versus RJ. And, he's also not a slouch in offense. So RJ has to be, playing both sides of the court. That's going to tire him up a little bit faster. I just hope RJ is going to have, also help from the rest of the roster. Fournier, quickly, whoever's going to be on the court there, that they're going to make shots, and RJ can rely on those guys, because I don't think he's in that position to carry this team versus, carry this team to a W versus a team like the Hawks in this kind of a game. And again, I'm going to, magnify this gratitude of this game. This is a huge game.
Yeah, I agree. Kev.
Okay, I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Who was sticking RJ in the Utah game?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Royce O'Neal.
Was it Royce O'Neal?
Okay, because I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember saying that's gonna be good. I think O'Neal's a better defensive player than what Hunter is. And you saw what RJ.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
Just saying, I don't
Go ahead,
think
Kev.
so. I think DeAndre Hunter is a good defender.
We'll agree to disagree. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about RJ's field goal percentage, because I think he's going to convert a lot tonight. I'm not worried about DeAndre Hunter. And if DeAndre Hunter locks him down, then I'll be the first to come on here and say that I was wrong. I'm telling you, I've seen a different RJ this year.
I know. So have I. We've all seen a different RJ this year. But while he's averaging, his averages are looking good right now, points, etc., his field goal percentage is low. And he's not the only one. Obviously, on the entire team, it's that way. So, I'm just asking, while RJ is averaging 24 points per game after the All-Star break or whatever it is, somewhere around there, it's not like he's doing it on 48% shooting.
No.
So I'm asking you, does that concern you? It doesn't concern me.
It does
and
not.
I'm going to tell you why it doesn't concern me.
Okay.
It doesn't concern me because I feel like he takes good shots. And he takes smart shots, right? You don't see him forcing the ball up a lot. So in my opinion, as he goes on in his career, he's going to shoot better from the field. So he's averaging like 22 shot attempts a game after the All-Star break, somewhere around there, right? Mm-hmm. But I think, and they're all good shot attempts, and I think his field goal percentage from the field, obviously his field goal percentage from the field, but I believe his field goal percentage is going to rise as he goes on, moves on in his career, gets older, etc. Gets more of a basketball game. The game slows down to him even more. I'm just asking you if you are concerned about it at all. You know what I mean? Because against the Atlanta Hawks, he hasn't shot well from the field, and he hasn't really shooting well from the field overall. So let me get to the caller.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Andy. Go ahead. Then we'll get to
I was going to say that, what really Sim wanted to say to you, Kev, that, RJ ain't no Evan Fournier.
There you go. Caller, you live, man. Tell me your name and where you're from.
What's going on, gents? It's Nick in Jersey City.
What's up, Nick? How you feeling, man?
St. Peter.
Doing good. How about yourself?
St. Peter's.
I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good.
Game's on TNT tonight, so we're probably going to have to see that Halloween court.
Yeah, probably so. We'll probably see that court, and we're going to have to listen to the TNT guys bash the Knicks all night.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think they're going to win. I'd love to see Obi have a career game today. That'd be nice. Just go out there, give him 35 minutes, and just see what he could do.
Yeah, that would really be good for him to have just one of those career nights on national TV. And kind of tell everybody, you're doubting me. You know what I'm saying? My man Rapper A, forgot his last name, doesn't like me. I'm about to show Rapper what I'm doing.
Yeah, man. I think they're going to stick with Burksville at the point, just because I think Tibbs likes him against Trae. He likes his length, so I think we're not going to see IQ start. But today I went through, because I had some time on my hands, and I went through all of the players in the league, all of the teams that have guys 23 years old and younger, and I wanted to see what teams were playing them. And I took out the guys who were injured because I didn't want to hurt the averages. So I took out Zion and I took out like Wiseman on the Warriors. The Knicks are 10th in the league in terms of playing guys 23 and under, and they're doing it with 8 guys. A lot of these teams like the Suns, they have like one guy like DeAndre Ayton, they're giving him 29 minutes. So like that skews it. The Mavs and the Warriors have 3 young guys, 23 and under. That skews it. The Knicks are averaging 18.1 minutes per game for players 23 and younger, which puts them at 10th.
Wow.
And 9 of the teams that are giving more minutes to the youth, 6 of them are doing it with less players. So,
right.
Only the Thunder and the Magic have as many young guys as the Knicks and are giving them more minutes. And, they're terrible teams, and if you took away like McBride and Sims, the Knicks are averaging the young guys 23 and under, they're averaging, the other 6 guys or the other 5 guys, it comes out to about like 24 minutes a game, which would make them second in the league. So I really do think it's a myth, and it's really not just RJ Barrett skewing the numbers either. And the other thing that I noticed was like the guy in terms of like the young guys, like McBride is probably like the last guy on the depth, in terms of depth of the roster. McBride is probably on the furthest end of the bench. He's going to get into 50% of the games this season by the end of the year. He's already played 31, 32 games this year. So he's probably going to play another 8 games out of the final 11 games.
Right.
Teams aren't doing that. Teams have guys that are 23, 22, 21. They're playing 10 games a year, 15 games a year. We're playing our kids. It's just, I don't know where it comes from, man. I really don't. And the other thing is, I think we all like the kids. We like the way they're developing, and we want to see more of them. So let's see how this season ends, and let's see what we do in the off season.
Thank you. Hey, you know what?
Caller.
No. Hold up, Kev. I know you want to answer, but I am going to clip this and put it out so we can dispel this whole rumor.
I'll send you the numbers.
Yeah, do that, please. Go ahead.
We'll do. I'm going to do it at the end of the season, though, to get the final, take on it, and I'll probably write it up. And it's a bunch of, it's bogus. I mean, there are 20 teams out there that are playing their young guys less minutes than the Knicks, and they have 4 young guys. We have 8 young guys. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
we're finding minutes for all of our young guys, and I mean, it's bizarre. I mean, Deuce McBride was the 4th round draft pick. Not a 4th round. He was our 4th pick this season.
Yeah.
We drafted Rokas over McBride.
Right.
McBride is averaging 1.8 points a game. He's shooting 19% from 3. He's shooting 32% from 2. And people are ready to put a Rocky statue out inside Madison Square Garden for the kid. He's got to be the most disproportionately.
I'm not one of those people. I'm not
saying you are, Kev. I'm not saying you. I like McBride. I want to see more McBride. I'm excited about McBride, but
all right, cool.
There's it's good to have good stuff in your back pocket. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
I think a lot of people want to see it now, and I want to see it now too. But not everybody's going to develop at the same pace. And I'm happy RJ and Mitchell Robinson are definitely keepers. I'm happy that IQ is a keeper. I'm happy that Grimes is a keeper. And as for Obi, Cam, McBride, and Sims, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, caller, real quick. You said you're from Jersey City, right?
Yeah.
What's the atmosphere like down there with St. Peter's?
Oh, it's good, man. You got to go to Healy's.
Go to where now?
Healy's Pub.
Healy's. Oh, okay.
It's,
All right.
it's owned by the former mayor of Jersey City. It's a great pub.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Sounds cool.
All right.
Hey, Nick, I appreciate your call,
Thanks,
man.
Nick.
Thank you for your time.
Take care.
Great.
I got a Kev bomb.
Great
I got a
number.
Kev bomb. I got a Kev bomb.
Uh-oh, we got a Kev bomb. K-bomb. We got a K-bomb coming in. A K-bomb. All right.
The bomb.
Hit us with it.
All right. So Ian Begley reports Miles McBride had 20 points, 18 assists, 4 steals, and just 1 turnover in the Westchester's Knicks game over the Grand Rapids last night. He's back with New York for tonight's game against Atlanta. It's an imperfect stat, but New York has outscored opponents by a total of 109 of 109 points in McBride's 269 NBA minutes. Mic drop.
Kev, don't drop the mic, Kev. Don't drop the mic. Don't break it. All right. Because what I'm gonna ask you, I'm gonna give you a homework assignment.
Give me a homework assignment. All right, I'll have it done by tonight.
Yeah, I want you to go back. You said 209 minutes.
No, 269 minutes.
269 minutes. I want you to find out of those 269 minutes, who was McBride playing against? That is key. Okay. That is key. Who was he playing against in those 269 minutes? That's all I want.
One for me, Kev. And one for me. What was the point differential on the scoreboard?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who was winning. I bet you it was mostly more than 10 points.
Right. Were the Knicks up 30 or were the other opposing team up 30? Because all of that means something.
He was probably in the middle too now. He was probably in the middle. It was probably in the middle because he has been in the games, in like the second quarters or so, right?
He has. So there's going to be some in the middle, but there's going to be a lot where the Knicks were up big or down big when he was out there on the floor. That's all I'm asking you. Who was he playing against during the time?
Understood.
That's all that I'm asking.
Understood.
Because that means something. Like just to just throw that out there. And these,
that's what Joe, our boy.
I know. But when people just throw these numbers out there with no context, the context means something. Because let's just say, for example, what if a player played 269 minutes and they only played when the Knicks were up 20, beating a team? That's the only time that they played. And every time they were out there, he was out there on the floor. The Knicks continued their run, and, they outscored the team by 10. But they were playing against G Leaguers or whoever. You know what I'm saying? So there's got to be context behind those numbers when you say it. So I want to know. So there's two things. Here's your assignment. There's two things. Who was he playing against? Who was he playing against in those 269 minutes?
Okay.
And were the Knicks up or down by double digits? How many games were the Knicks up, down by double digits? Up or down?
I can do that. Can do that.
Okay, we're gonna see. We're gonna find out.
I can do that. I have to get a little help from my friends, like the Beatles, song. A little help from my friends.
All right,
but I will do it.
All right, let me get to this last caller, then we'll do some keys and get up out of here, man. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
Trae from Brooklyn. Peace, son.
Trae, what's going on, man? Peace to you, brother.
What's up, Trae?
So I heard the stat about, the Knicks being 10th in the league and playing young guys, and that might be true. But my thing is this. We have a bunch of young guys.
Mm-hmm.
We've had multiple games that we've been losing in.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't Thibs, when the game we know is lost, give the young guys more floor time so they can learn from their mistakes, right? More floor time allows them more repetition, which allows them to learn more from their mistakes. If you're saying to me, okay, all right, boom, we down 15. 8 minutes left in the game, 6 minutes left in the game. Let's Deuce rock. Let Obi rock. Why does Julius still need to get 40-some minutes? See, that's where my problem lies. It's just not about how much they play. It's when they play.
Right? That.
When do they get a chance to play? Right? It's garbage time. Give them some burn. That's my stance.
I mean, I get that, but I do think, there have obviously been times when, it was garbage time and Tibbs didn't make a substitution until 2 minutes left, right? And that was, I can't even defend it. Don't know why. You know what I mean? He should have put the guys out there to play. I understand that. And I believe in you against Utah. Not even forget about the fact that Obi, if you want to consider him a young guy, forget about the fact that he's a young guy. Julius Randle wasn't playing well. The Knicks were playing well with Obi on the floor. He should have stayed in the game just because he was playing well. And the Knicks, in my opinion, had a better chance to even win the game during that time. You know what I'm saying? But I I do agree. It's during the times that they are playing. But again, I go back. Do people not consider RJ Barrett a young guy? Or Mitch?
Easy. Okay.
Or
RJ,
quickly?
Mitch. Okay, those are 3 young guys, right? But let's put it like this. They've been in the system a few years now. RJ was his 3rd year in the league.
Third year in the league.
But now we have rookies, right? That we want to see what they have. Are they going to be potentially part of our future? Let them rock. And I can't think of the brother's name. Grimes got to play, but I was looking really for McBride to play, right?
Right.
Let him get his opportunity in the garbage moments to work through, because we're looking to see we need a point guard, right? We're looking for that. Mm-hmm. So let the man play. Let him play. Let him get the garbage minutes to see if he can be a guard in the future.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't get that repetition now, he's gonna go down to the G League. He'll cook, come back up, make a mistake, I'm gonna pull you.
Yeah. Now I agree with you 100%. Garbage time. Is no reason for them dudes to be out there. And there's been a lot of times when McBride should have been out there, 5 minutes left, the Knicks down 25, 26, or 4 minutes. Let's say 4 minutes left or whatever. He should have been out there earlier. He didn't get in until like maybe a minute or something like that. Yeah, that's a blunder. No doubt about that. That's a blunder.
All right. That's all I have to say. You brothers have a good day, man.
All right.
Continue to watch, man. Enjoy your show.
Appreciate you, brother. Peace. And, one thing I think people forget about, and I just want to remind people, right, that RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, and Emmanuel Quickley are still young guys. I think people forget about that because they've been in the system. Like, I think his name was Trae, right? Trae just said they've been in the system. But they are still young guys. Quickley's what, 22? RJ Barrett, 21. I mean, I don't know. I guess you consider Obi Toppin a young guy because of his amount of time in the league. He's like 24, 25. You know what I mean? So he's not that young. I just want to remind people that RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, Obi Toppin, those guys are considered the kids as well. Mitchell Robinson, he's also considered the kids. You know what I mean? And all of those guys, Obi Toppin a little less, but RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, and Mitchell Robinson, all of those guys have gotten major minutes in crunch time. You know what I'm saying? And Quentin Grimes, when he started to play and proved that he can defend, he got some crunch time minutes as well. Deuce, Jericho Sims, they haven't really, and I wouldn't expect them to. Jericho Sims did get some crunch time minutes not too long ago, a couple games ago, but I wouldn't expect them to get that many crunch time minutes. But I do agree 100%. The game is out of hand. Put them guys out there and let them play. You know what I mean? Put them out there and let them play. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get to some keys to the game. Andy, I don't have any keys written down, but Andy, what are your keys to this game? What do you think the Knicks need to do to pull this game out?
Yeah, firstly, Sim, I think, stopping Trae Young, that's probably the thing that's highest on the board in the locker room. Stopping him by playing and covering the pick and roll game. He's heavily involved, and the whole offense of the Hawks is heavily involved, built around that pick and roll game of Trae Young. All the hustle stats, steals, deflections, rebounds, loose balls, and stuff like that. We got to win most of those categories. I think if we would, fasten the pace, looking that Randle is not in the game, it will help the Knicks, not only because Obi's going to probably play in Randle's position, but also our offense is heavily based around Julius. And if he's not there, I don't think, RJ and Fournier and, Burks, they can handle so many possessions to build up the whole offense to get a quality shot up. It might be easier without Randle, but it also might be, a crucial failure for Tibbs. And I hope he's not going to scramble in those situations. And I don't know what he's going to do because, we basically had this is the fourth game that Julius wasn't on the court. He had 3 in COVID protocols and and won now. So I think, Randall's Tibbs' mentality while preparing for the games is that he's basically always going to have at least one of those guys, meaning RJ or Randall. But I think still the offense is way more built around Randall than RJ. Listen, this might be a come out game for Obi. Let's hope so. I hope he's gonna fill out those minutes for Randall pretty good, like we said before. And Sim, as always, free throws. If we are gonna shoot bad free throws and lose by a couple of points in an important game like this one, it's gonna be really, really bad. So I hope those things we can cover up and get this W.
Yeah, no doubt. And just a quick Kev bomb, a K bomb, but I'll put it out there because I don't think Kev knows what the bomb is.
Oh, I know what it is. I know what you're gonna say. I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Okay, well, go ahead. If you know what it is, go ahead. Drop the bomb.
You muted yourself.
Hello.
You muted yourself, Kev.
You got me. Julius Randle has been fined by the league $40K for touching an official
or directing hostile language towards an official.
That too. So
well, they didn't. Not that too. They didn't say anything about touching the official. They just
hostile language. Fine.
They didn't say anything about. Although he did push the official away.
Thank you.
It doesn't say anything. I was talking about. Yeah, but the fine doesn't say anything about touching an official. It says hostile language.
It does not. It does not. You're totally right.
Yeah. Let me get to this phone call. Then I'm gonna come to Kev for.
Tim, just one more thing about this Randall thing.
Yeah.
The whole fines that Randall, gathered this whole season added up to $184,000 at this point.
$184,000. And did the Knicks take care of them all, or did he have to pay for them?
No, I think he had to pay it from his pocket. So,
all right. Evergreen, what's popping, man?
Peace and love. Now you know damn well Cornerstone Kevin's not getting ready to do no homework. Why you even gave that man an assignment to do anything?
Evergreen, I hate you, man. I hate you with a passion, man.
You know damn well he's not getting ready to do no homework.
I'm gonna do some homework, man. What are you talking about?
He's just gonna do some more. He's gonna do some more I feels and hypertrophy. He's not gonna do no research. Peace and love, Knicks family. I hope everybody's doing amazing this glorious afternoon of us about to lose this game to Atlanta. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody is ready to continue to be miserable for the next, for the season and the off season. But y'all can tune right in here to MBK and get your fix and feel better about yourself, feel better about your life.
Hey, man. Hey. Should Tibbs be here next year?
Tibbs should have been fired a long time ago.
Thank you.
You already know my answer.
See, I ain't the only one.
Should have been gone.
I ain't the only one.
Tibbs should have been gone. That's just me. Maybe
I'm with you too. I'm with you too.
Maybe I'm just thinking irrationally, but Tibbs should have been gone. But I really, that's the only reason I actually called up here was just to tell you that you wasn't gonna be doing no homework. That's really the only reason. I've been kind of ghost for a while because I kind of had a real big explosion on our brother network on the Blowers Cheers. I had a really, really big explosion. I had to take a little break from all Knicks content.
Evergreen.
Okay.
Evergreen, when you finish, call me, okay?
I got you. I'm gonna hit you up.
Okay. All right, because I got to talk to you about that. So, okay.
Oh, look, anyway, how things going, man? It's been a minute.
Man, things are well, man. I just finished coaching, not coaching, but being in an All-Star game, being recognized as one of the premier coaches for this league that I'm playing in. First year coaching, made it to the semifinals, lost by 1 point. Oh man, it was so tough. Coaching these kids from 16 to 17. From 16 to 18 in this league in the township that I live in. Me, still working, still doing military stuff, but I'm still here. I'm here, but I'm not outside. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm here though.
All right.
I'm here. All right.
No doubt. Well, hey man, let's give me when you get a chance. Well, I'll hit you up. I'll give you a call.
All right, I'm around. I'm
All right.
around. Peace.
Peace, man.
People
All right,
love
peace,
you,
bro.
Appreciate
man.
you,
I'm
bro.
outta
All
here.
right.
That's it.
Give me a
That's all
call.
I
Give me a
wanted.
call. All right. Give me a call.
Got you.
Oh, you suck.
Yeah. All right, Kev. What's your keys to the game, man? Give me some keys to the game.
Crash the boards. Run, and do some more running. Because you're right. Geez. Gallo and
Capella.
yeah, they're not going to run up against Mitch and Obi. So we got to run, contain Trae, and cut down on our turnovers. I don't know what we've been averaging turnover wise, but
Yeah, it hasn't been as good as last season. Let's say that. I think.
Right. And that's because of the point guard position, right? Because last year you had Alfred and
I don't know if it's necessarily because of the point guard position, because we've had some games where we really did a good job taking care of the ball. You know what I mean? So I just bad decision making. Okay. And the offense being kind of predictable and teams knowing exactly what we're gonna do, I think leads to some of those turnovers too. But I agree, we got to take care of the basketball. We can't let them get out and run. You know what I'm saying? Because if they start running, we're going to be in trouble. You know what I mean? Transition defense, there are times when our transition defense is just terrible. It's horrible. Mm-hmm. We got to play better transition defense in those situations than rebounding. We got to be on the boards. No Julius Randle tonight. He's averaging 11 boards a game, 10, 11 boards a game. You're missing that tonight. Obi Toppin should be in the starting lineup, although Tibbs, he said he doesn't know. But
he said he could be.
He could.
That was the quote. He could be.
Yeah, he could be. But if Obi's out there, we need Obi to grab 8, 9 rebounds tonight. You know what I'm saying? And I think he can. But we need him to be on the glass. RJ's gonna have to help out on the glass. Burks is gonna have to help out on the glass. Fournier, everyone's gonna have to help out on the glass. Got to be a gang rebound mentality, I think, tonight. You know what I mean? Because Clint Capella can chew up those rebounds. You know what I mean? And I think if he does, we're going to be in trouble. And then we got to deal with the screen and roll. That screen and roll between Trae Young and Clint Capella is deadly.
It is. It's
deadly. So we got to deal with the screen and roll. We got to play good defense, help the helper off those screen and rolls. And then, listen, if we really let that screen and roll get going, I think we're going to be in trouble inside and out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Inside and out, because then that's when Gallo and Herter and those guys are going to get going from the 3-point line. Bogdanovich is playing. He'll get going from the 3-point line. So we really got to do something. We got to make sure that we're defending that 3-point line well, and then closing out on the shooters.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's there's a lot that the Knicks got to do tonight. But hey, they beat them 3 times this season. See if we can
we beat them 4 times last year, and then they came and beat us in the playoffs. So I take nothing away from the regular season.
I know.
Other than Herter and Trae, who are their other shooters? Well, would you consider DeAndre Hunter a shooter?
Not really not a sniper, but Gallo, he's a sniper.
I forgot about
Bogdanovich.
But is he playing?
He's questionable. He's questionable, but it's a good chance I think he plays, like Andy was saying earlier, just the implications of this game.
What did you say before about when you're questionable? What, it's 50-50?
Yeah, it's normally if you're questionable, they're waiting, during warm-ups, they're going to make that decision.
Okay, but if you're probable,
that means then you're going to play. If you're probable, you're going to play.
You're going to play. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to head up out of here. I'll definitely be on for the post-game show, Kev. I know Andy's not. Andy's going to be sleeping or just waking up or something. I don't know. Kev, you gonna be on for the post-game show?
Sir. Yes,
You're gonna have that homework assignment done?
I'm going to have that assignment done. But
yeah, right.
But I'm going to tell you real quick. Roy Hugh, who's RWH Huber on Twitter? I forget his handle, but he kind of took a poke at what I just read. He said 269 minutes makes plus or minus legit on a losing team. If it was the Suns beating everyone by 30, it would be different. So I guess what I said really,
that excuses you from the homework assignment.
I was gonna say.
Is that what it does?
Yeah, that's me getting out of gym class.
That's it. Yeah, that's what it looks. That's what it sounds like you're trying to do.
Oh boy, I forget his name. You know him. I think you know him.
Yeah, I know you talk about.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right. Well,
yes,
ladies
I'll
and
be on
gentlemen,
tonight. Yep.
we're gonna get up out of here. Kev, stay on for a minute after we get off. All right.
Yes, sir.
Want to ask you a question? We're gonna get up out of here. I see you on the post game show, ladies and gentlemen. We are up out. Be peaceful. I hope the Knicks get a win.
Yep.
Out, ladies
Me
and
too.
gentlemen. Peace.
Red love.
And BK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.